Today we will talk about the new tax that France is rolling out. This new tax on private jets, it's part of their 2025 budget plan, and it applies to all passengers taking off from French airports on private jets. The idea is pretty straightforward, but today we will dive in deeper to really understand it. Now, the tax isn't just a flat fee or anything. No, it's kind of broken down in categories based on where the flight's heading and the type of aircraft being used. For destinations, you've got three groups: European, intermediate, and distant destinations. Then, add in the service categories. So you've got standard, flights with extra services, business aircraft with turboprop engines, and business aircraft with jet engines. It's a lot, right? For example, if you're on a business aircraft with a jet engine going to a European destination, the tax that'll hit you is 420 euros per passenger. But, here's the catch, if your flight starts and ends within France, that tax jumps up to 462 euros because they slap a 10% VAT on top. I guess they're really trying to discourage domestic private flights, huh? So why are they doing this? Why now? The government has been looking at ways to tighten up public finances, and they think this tax could really make a difference. Basically, the idea is that private aviation contributes a fraction of the air traffic, but the environmental cost and just the exclusivity of it makes it kind of a prime target for taxes. I mean, it's not just about the money. The government sees this as a way to balance things out, socially and environmentally, and they're expecting the revenue generated here to go toward all sorts of public finance initiatives, municipal projects, maybe infrastructure upgrades, things like that. It's not just meant to be punitive, just a tax for the sake of it, but rather to steer private aviation into shouldering some of the costs it creates. And then there are the new levies they're introducing. This isn't happening in isolation, right? They're adding these measures as part of this bigger effort to ensure that private jet users are, let's say, paying their fair share compared to commercial passengers and even freight airlines. All right, let's talk tourism, because this new tax on private jets isn't just about the environment or fairness. It could also ripple through France's tourism sector in some pretty major ways. Now, according to the European Business Aviation Association, only 10% of private jet departures are for leisure. So it's not like everyone's just flying around on jets for fun. But the travel and tourism industry overall, it represents nearly 9% of the country's jobs, which is definitely not nothing. And then there's the Côte d'Azur, a huge magnet for private jet users, especially in the summer. Whether this tax actually pushes people to, vacation somewhere else is still an open question. Spain, Italy, Greece, Turkey, Croatia, they're all places that could, swoop in and pick up the slack if private flyers start looking for alternatives. Private jet users might only account for 1 or 2% of arrivals at luxury resorts, but sometimes they can drive up to 25% of the revenue. That's a lot of dinners, spa treatments, and, everything else. And it's not just the resorts, right? Restaurants, boutiques, car services, basically the whole web of businesses that cater to high-end tourism could feel the effects. I mean, back in 2012, Italy tried to slap the yachting industry with extra taxes, and local businesses saw their revenues plummet. So, a move like this could have some unintended consequences, especially if wealthy tourists, just opt out of France entirely. For Paris, it's not just luxury resorts that could get hit, but stopover flights too. Those quick layovers and visits can drive a ton of spending, and it looks like this tax might, disrupt even that. So, overall, it's kind of this balancing act. On one hand, there's the need for fairness and accountability in private aviation. On the other, the reality that these travelers really do inject significant cash into local economies. How it'll all pan out? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And that's all for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that follow button and share it with a friend who might find this interesting. Until next time, take care.